Over the course of the next 30 minutes, KRVN broadcasters will share the latest in weather, markets, and agriculture news. Join us this morning for topics and guests, including Clay Patton on weather and markets, Jayson Jorgensen with sports, Mark Gold with Top Third Ag on the grain markets, Jerry Stoll with country futures on the livestock markets, and Alex Makovicka with agriculture news. Let's head inside the KRVN studios, joining Clay Patton with the latest in weather.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to 880 KRVN and the Morning Roundup. We just kicked off our morning program right here live on KRVN's Facebook page, YouTube channel, and more. It is Tuesday, March the 7th. Hope you're off to a great start on your workday. Now let's get you all the news, information, sports, weather, and more that you need. Make sure your day started off right. Well, we start here in the Weather Center, and this Weather Watch brought to you by Holdridge Irrigation. That's where we're still seeing really the same temperatures that we saw when we kicked off the on-air morning show this morning at 6 a.m. From the Tri-Cities East, you've got low to mid-30s. From the Tri-Cities West, you've got mid to upper 20s out for much of the area. Still expected to be fairly overcast, though, and cloudy on the day. Highs expected in the mid to upper 30s with east winds 10 to 15. Still getting a little gusty, back up around 20. Now for tonight, it'll be cloudy. Chance of drizzle with a 20% chance of even a light snow shower or two over central Nebraska, albeit those chances improving a little further to the east. No accumulation expected overnight. This is as we start to see that first round of low pressure start to move across the plains. Tomorrow, we'll see highs of the upper 30s to low 40s, northeast winds 10 to 15, with a 40 to 50% chance of snow possibly in the late afternoon. Hey, let us know where you're listening from as well, maybe what the weather is doing in your area all in the comments here. We've got Star Seed and Grain IQ bringing you ag news and factors influencing the commodity trade next.
Options. Ranke systems have lots of options to ensure your irrigation needs are met. Ranke offers 5 pipe options to match every type of water condition: galvanized steel, chromium steel, aluminum, stainless steel, and polylined. Contact Holdridge Irrigation, your local Ranke pivot dealer, to see which option is best for you. In addition to water pipe options, Ranke offers a variety of control panels to give you reliable and trouble-free use. If your needs change over time, contact Holdridge Irrigation to assist you with upgrading the control panel. Thanks to the compatibility between each Ranke control panel, changes are easy to make. Holdridge Irrigation will look at your irrigation needs and conditions and will recommend the pipe and control panel best suited for you. Ranke also has a number of specialty pivot options available. Contact Holdridge Irrigation to see which pivot option is the best fit for you and your operation.
The grain marketing podcast, Grain IQ, can help you stay profitable. In Season 1, we explored domestic and international grain buyers with Elaine Cubb.
You got to know your customers. You got to know your customers' customers. And if they're suffering, they're not going to be able to afford your stuff, and they're not going to buy it. So it is crucially important to understand where it's going and how profitable it could be.
Subscribe and listen to Grain IQ on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and online at ruralradionetwork.com. Grain IQ, a grain marketing podcast supported by the Nebraska Soybean Board.
Does your seed have what it takes? Let Star Seed help you determine which spring seed to plant this season. We provide a wide variety of seed options from premium forages to native grass mixtures, guaranteeing to have the high-quality products you need. Our agronomists are ready to guide you with your crop decisions to make sure your seed has what it takes. Be a part of our next century of innovation. Give us a call today at 800-782-7311 or visit GoStarSeed.com to learn more.
Good morning, Clay Patton on the Rural Radio Network, and it's time to take a look at the factors influencing the commodity trade today. And as we heard from Susan Littlefield heading to the Commodity Classic, now let's talk with Mark Gold, Top Third Ag Marketing, going from Chicago to Orlando as well. Good morning, Mark.
Well, good morning. Yeah, I'll be in the StoneX booth starting on Thursday. Hope you come by and see me if you're in the area. Overnight, we had May corn down 2 cents at $6.35. May wheat down a penny and a half at $6.94 3/4, and May beans down 4 1/4 cents at $15.24 3/4. Not a whole lot of news overnight. There was nothing that I saw on the export corridor deal. No exports. A little bit better rains in Argentina put a little bit of pressure on the beans overnight. But the trade is really looking forward to tomorrow's WASDE. The Brazilian production looks to be unchanged in corn and beans, but Argentina down 3.8 million metric tons in the corn, and soybeans down 4.7, Those are the average guesses. Some people think that the bean number is 36.3. Some people think it's as low as 31 out there. So we'll see what the USDA comes up with. The U.S. Stockpiles, they've got corn up 32 million, beans down 6 million, wheat up 8 million. And the world supplies, they've got corn down 1.6 million metric tons, beans down 1.9, wheat up 600,000 metric tons. We do have the dollar strong. It's up 25 points here. The crude oil is lower. So I think we're going to see kind of a mixed day here.
And that again is Mark Gold, Top Third Ag Marketing. Always learn more at topthird.com. Again, it's topthird.com. Do remember, though, trading futures and options involve risk of loss, may not be suitable for all investors. Do consider these risks before investing.
Farmers, save big on equipment and trade-ins. Stop paying buyer fees and stop paying high auction fees. AgSilo.com is the only farm equipment marketplace with zero buyer fees and shipping options included. And with AgSilo, you can compare actual prices on premium equipment way beyond your county line. Farmers, take control of your equipment purchases. Visit AgSilo.com today. That's AgSilo.com.
I'm Brian. At 58, doctors told me I had the heart of a 37-year-old man. They told me that after my heart transplant surgery. If you're a smoker, here are some tips in case that happens to you. First, you have to quit smoking before you can get on a list for a transplant. So quit now. And never feel sorry for yourself. I don't. I only feel sorry for that 37-year-old man.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Clay Patton back on the Rural Radio Network as we check in over on the livestock side of the trade. And to do so, we're going to talk with Jerry Stoll of Country Futures in Frankfort, Kansas. Good morning, Jerry.
Good morning, Clay. Not much at all on the outside markets, pretty much unchanged in all the equities here, dollar index and crude oil. Last night's lean hog index, 78.91 up 20. Pork cutout value rose 176 to 87.33. And we'll just go with mixed, maybe a little better in the hogs when we open up here at 8:30. Cattle complex, another quiet week on the cash fed front so far here for a Monday. And the latest feeder index came in at 187.21 up 178. Beef cutout value rose 88 to 290.20, and that was down from that 290.53 at noon. I think once again expectations are fully steady at the very worst, with a decent chance of seeing strength again this week in the cash market. Futures have been on fire, especially led by feeders. All of a sudden we got some of these summer fall feeders up above 220 here, as we're definitely pricing in a lot of the optimism that potentially lies out there for the summer. After yesterday's strong closes, we'll just call them mixed here this morning as we await cash news and money flow, and everybody will be watching that feeder market.
And that again is Jerry Stoll, Country Futures in Frankfort, Kansas. You can always learn more at countryfutures.com. Again, it's countryfutures.com, the website to visit. Do remember, though, that trading futures and options involve risk of loss, may not be suitable for all investors. Do consider these risks before investing. Looking out to your estimated cattle slaughter on the day, it's continued to an expected brisk pace at 125,000 head, 1,000 less than a week ago, 2,000 more than a year ago. Hog slaughter on the day, estimated 480,000, down 3,000 from last week, even with a year ago. Look to the factors on the Rural Radio Network.
The American farmer is leading the way in keeping our air and water clean. Today's farmers use a mix of technology and common sense to preserve our natural resources while providing healthier and higher quality food. American farmers are doing their best to ensure clean air and water for now and the future. The following businesses salute the American farmers and ranchers who work hard to produce food and fiber for the world.
Ag Solutions of Lamar, Kearney Power Sports in Kearney, and L&D Crop Insurance of North Loop.
Welcome back here on the Morning Roundup on 880 KRVN. Thank you wherever you're watching from, tuning in from here today. That check of the factors influencing the commodity trade brought to you by Starseed, green and always growing, of Osborne, Kansas. It's Starseed and Grain IQ, your grain marketing's podcast supported by the Nebraska Soybean Board. Learn more and find and subscribe to Grain IQ on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and at ruralradionetwork.com. Before that, though, was a check of the weather brought to you by Holdridge Irrigation. information. Let's head on now and get your latest in sports. Jayson Jorgensen is standing by.
This is Trey Wassenberger from TD Angus at Risha Ranch, here to invite you to our annual bull sale March 17th on St. Patty's Day at the ranch south of North Platte, featuring our largest offering ever with over 400 Angus bulls. This is not only our largest offering, but also our best. We offer volume discounts, free nationwide delivery, AI service, and each bull sells with an unconditional guarantee. All the calves sired by this year's bulls will be eligible for the $25,000 cash prizes in our innovative and competitive TD feed test. Also selling 600 commercial Angus replacement heifers from the heart of our customers' cow herds, and backed by popular demand, 8 ranch broke geldings ready to go to work. Also, join us the night before the sale at the ranch for a once-in-a-lifetime supply chain panel featuring sustainable beef founders that produce our own beef packing plant coming to the region in 2025. Look us up on Facebook or tdangus.com for updates and videos of the bulls selling, or feel free to stop out at any time and view the bulls and the cow herd that made them. Join us for the program on March 17th on St. Patty's Day at TD Angus.
And now it's time for a check of sports with Jayson Jorgensen.
Well, Nebraska opens its 10-game homestand with a 2-game midweek series against Northern Colorado today and tomorrow. The home opener is set for 4:05, while tomorrow's game, weather permitting, is scheduled for 2:05. Nebraska holds a dominant 48-7 advantage in the all-time series against Northern Colorado, who is now coached by former Nebraska coach Mike Anderson. After starting the season with several games on the road, Coach Will Bolt says it will be nice to play back in Lincoln.
Don't know how the schedule's going to turn out with the weather. We know it's going to be cold. We know it's not going to be ideal. We know we're going to have a chance to play on our home field probably earlier in the week at least. So we're going to be ready to play. We're excited to get and play in front of our fans and play our brand of baseball.
Bolt made his comments in the Huskers Radio Network. We will bring you today's game locally on Kimmy Country. It's been a long road for the former 4-star tight end out of Council Bluffs, Thomas Fedoni. He came to Nebraska a couple of years back. Heralded as the highest-rated prospect to sign with the Huskers in more than a decade. But he's only played 3 snaps in a Nebraska jersey because the early portion of his career has been derailed by a couple of off-season knee injuries. He says despite those setbacks, he's still pumped and ready to play.
My expectations haven't changed at all. I think I can be, the Mackey Award winner. I think I can be the best tight end in all of college football. I think I can be first-round pick, second-round pick. It's just I've had a few setbacks, and, the saying is one setback is just set up for a major comeback. And, that's kind of how I look at it. I don't think it's changed the destination. It's just changed, a little bit of the timing.
Fedoni and the rest of the Huskers will begin spring practice later on this month under new head coach Matt Rule. Nebraska freshman Jamarcus Lawrence was honored yesterday as he was selected as the Big Ten Conference Freshman of the Week. Lawrence, a 6'3" guard from New Jersey, averaged 15 points on 63% shooting and almost 5 rebounds and 4 assists per game. The Huskers are back in action tomorrow night in the first round of the Big Ten tournament with tip-off at 8 against Minnesota. We will bring you that game right here on 880 KRVN. And several area teams will be in action in the NCAA Boys State Basketball Tournament that begins tomorrow. Class D1, St. Pat's plays Meade at 9. Elm Creek takes on DCS at 10:45. You can hear that game on Kimmy Country. At 6, Maywood Hayes Center battled Ansley Litchfield. Tip-off is set for 6. That game can be heard on K-Bear Country. That's a look at sports. For more, find it anytime at krvn.com. I'm Jayson Jorgensen.
Agri Affiliates, your full-service farm real estate company, is offering the Sandfield Trust Farm located in Franklin County, Nebraska, for sale. The farm consists of good quality dry cropland with additional monthly income provided by a communications tower lease. This farm will be offered for sale through a sealed bid format whereby the Kearney office of Agri Affiliates will be accepting sealed bids through March 15th, 2023. To receive a bid packet for the Sandfield Trust Farm, contact the Agri Affiliates office in Kearney at 308-234-4969 or view detailed information concerning this farm on our website, agriaffiliates.com. Again, that phone number, 308-234-4969, or view our website, agriaffiliates.com.
You ain't seen nothing. This is Ford Truck Month, America. Time to get up and get into Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 46 years straight. Like the Ford F-150 or the all-new Ford Super Duty. Or check out Ford Maverick and Ford Ranger pickups. So get into Ford Truck Month and see what a built Ford Tough truck can do for you. There's a great selection in stock and ready for delivery today. Based on 1977's 2022 calendar year total sales.
I am Justine Henderson with the K-State Research and Extension Office. I hope to see you at the Mid-American Farm Expo in Salina, Kansas from March 22nd to the 24th at Tony's Pizza Event Center and the Saline County Livestock and Expo Center. There will be over 200 exhibitors, including some returning favorites. On Thursday, March 23rd, you are invited to hear experts from Kansas State University. Micah Cameron Harp will discuss the State of Carbon Credit Program in the morning, and then Brian Brigman will talk about the U.S. ag economy and how we're looking. This event is provided by the Ag Committee and the Salina Area Chamber of Commerce.
We're back inside the KRVN Weather Center, and I hope you're off to a good start on this Tuesday morning. Again, Tuesday, March the 7th. What is the weather doing in your neck of the woods? Likely it's going to be overcast and not quite as warm as what we saw a week ago, as we're starting into that seasonal time frame where we go through the 6 different fall springs before we get to the actual spring. However, every day we get a step closer, and I still agree with Jeff Marshall. He's the one that said, you know what? We're one day closer to grass, boys. We're almost there. So those green pastures will be greening up before we know it. Good moisture over the winter going to help us to get there, and these feeder cattle are hot. Somebody is confident about grass cattle going forward. Well, as we look out again to your forecast, clouds keep the highs back into the 30s here today with an approach of a low pressure. Light rain or drizzle moves up from the south late this afternoon and overnight hours. Tonight through tomorrow, any precipitation should fall as light rain or snow, albeit accumulation at this point is not expected over much of it. Rain with some snow is likely tomorrow night through Thursday as low pressure moves onto the plains. Light accumulating snowfall should mainly impact areas of northern Nebraska to the north of Highway 92, where 1 to 3 inches could accumulate. So again, the storm track and pattern continues to adjust and shift itself further to the north. Mostly rain is expected with liquid precipitation totals of 1/10 to 1/2 inch. Daytime temperatures stay mostly above freezing in the upper 30s to the 40s Wednesday through early next week. As well, Friday is dry. There is, though, a slight chance we could see some returning just kind of clipper little low pressure shots over the weekend that could bring in some intermittent and light moisture, albeit it's not guaranteed, but there is that possibility we could see, again, an unstable weather pattern continuing through the weekend, starting to get an early shape of what next week may look like. We'll have that over the next couple days. Let's get the latest here from your weather front as we look out across the conditions. 30 degrees at the KRVN studios, 82% humidity, east winds at 9, barometer at 30.28, dew point 24, visibility clear, wind chill makes it feel closer to 22. Let's head on in and check in on the Rural Radio Network.
Hey y'all, this is Bobby Hartwig with Powerline Genetics, inviting you to our March edition bull sale being held in Arapahoe, Nebraska on the 14th. We guarantee this set of Sim Angus and Simmental bulls is one you do not want to miss out on. These guys sell semen tested with ultrasound data and genomically enhanced EPDs. View videos or register to bid online with DV Auction. For more information, visit powerlinegenetics.com. We are where quality counts and value matters.
Warrior's Limousine and Limflex 32nd Annual Sale is March 12th at 1 p.m., 3 miles east of Barnston. We concentrate on easy fleshing, docility, and calving needs. The offering includes 40 yearling and coming 2-year-old bulls packed with muscle. Also, 20 bred and open replacement females. View the videos and catalog at jboyer.com. For a catalog, call me at 402-696-4410. See you at the sale March 12th.
The 2023 Soybean Board See for Yourself Tour is underway in Washington, and we're visiting with Molly Bold with the Port of Grace Harbor. The seafood industry in Washington is very robust, but not a lot of people, I think, know about the industry. Tell me more about the seafood industry here.
Sure. So Washington, of course, is certainly a regional seafood distributor, but also a global seafood distributor in terms of what is harvested here on our coastal waters. So we are in Westport today. Westport is the largest seafood landing port in Washington state, and it's among the top 10 seafood landing ports in all of the United States by volume. So we average 100 to 120 million pounds of seafood harvested here in our small community each year.
So you've had the chance to mingle with some of these Nebraska soybean producers who came all the way out here over 1,700 miles.
learned a lot about the commonalities between the two industries. Share a little bit more about that aspect.
Certainly. Well, what is that saying that farmers and fishermen are America's royal family? You only get in by birth or marriage, and that's certainly the case. So fishing is definitely a natural resource-based industry. It's very generational. It's certainly cultural. A lot of the people here in Westport, where we are today, are third, fourth, fifth generation fishermen, and it's a part of their heritage.
Yeah. Tell me more about some of the misconceptions that you guys deal with.
Absolutely. Like so many, there's a misconception that the industry is in crisis, it's over-harvested, that seafood is a dying industry, which couldn't be further from the truth. Our fisheries in Washington are robust and healthy, and the fisheries in the United States are some of the most well-managed, sustainable fisheries in the world. So if you're interested in supporting that, buy local seafood, buy domestic products.
What do you hope these group of producers take back home to Nebraska with them?
Well, firstly, I hope they go back home and buy domestic seafood, certainly Washington seafood, knowing now where it's come from, who harvests it, and how sustainably it's harvested is important. And I hope they understand that even though we're on the water, these natural resource-based industries are very much alike. We have very much in common. I think we have similar achievements, similar struggles. So it's fun to know that we're all in this together. But to learn more about what goes on here in Westport, there's a great resource in that's called Westport's Fresh Catch. It talks a lot about the Dungeness crab industry, the salmon industry, the albacore tuna industry. Just gives you a little overview of everything that goes on here in the community.
All of that information, again, coming here from the 2023 Nebraska Soybean Board See for Yourself Tour, a chance where Nebraska's own soybean producers are coming here to the Pacific Northwest to learn more about where their soybeans ultimately go. Again, that's Molly Bold joining us with the Port of Grace Harbor.
Here's to the locals, raised right here in the Western Corn Belt. The strong ones. We help them grow stronger, making world-class genetics, research, and technology local. The cutting-edge yet common-sense agronomy, the shake-em-up yields. Because we're born and raised here too, and we'll keep raising the bar to ensure you only get the best at Hogemeyer. Raised local, raised right here. Learn more at therightseed.com.
Hi, this is Mark Oppold from the Bottom Line Report. This is a season like none other for grain and livestock producers. A single headline can send the markets in either direction. Now, we don't pretend to have all the answers every day on the Bottom Line Report, but we hope you'll tune in and we'll do our best to make it a more profitable day.
Listen to The Bottom Line Report at 10:15 weekday mornings on KRVN.
Come by a Rippin' Good Bull at Rippy Gelby's Bull Sale on March 11th at Fairbury Livestock in Fairbury, Nebraska. This is Dustin Rippy, and we are selling 112 Gelby and Balancer bulls and 35 commercial heifers. 43% of the pen are heifer bulls. We value maternal traits so highly we individually weigh each cow and record udder scores. To buy your first Rippin' Good Bull, go to our website and look at the videos at rippygelby.com, as in RIPPE. Don't have a pen, just call the station. That is rippygelby.com.
Well, hey there. This is Pat Margaret's for the Dawson County Farm Bureau. Recent headlines of a man losing his life in a grain bin is a very sad reminder. We all need to be careful around the farm. Now is the time that a lot of grain leaves the bin, so remember, if at all possible, avoid going into a bin. If you do have to enter a bin, make sure to have someone there and use proper safety equipment like a rope and safety harness. Thinking ahead and a little patience can keep everyone safe on the farm. This safety message was brought to you by your local County Farm Bureau.
Good morning. Clay Patton on the Rural Radio Network. The grains find follow-through selling in the overnight session, but on the opening bell, the feeder cattle market finds follow-through buying. Can they continue a blistering pace up to the top side as they continue to ring the bell of overbought signals on the charts? Feeder cattle are going to be closely watched by the broader majority of the trade. Meanwhile, it could be a macro market-filled headline day with Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell set to testify before for the Senate, and a lot of traders hoping maybe he'll be a little bit more dovish rather than hawkish. Early signs on Wall Street, though, that's not likely, with equities lower and the U.S. dollar index moving into the positive. March corn, 641.5, down 3. July corn, 623, down 2.5. September corn opens 579.5, down 3. May soybeans, 1522.5, down 6 1/4. July soybeans, 1511, down 5 1/4. August soybeans, meanwhile, 1475 1/4, down 5 1/2. We see May Chicago wheat 692 3/4, down 2.5. July Chicago 701 1/4, down 2 1/4. September 712 1/2, down 2. May Kansas City wheat 796 3/4, down 1. July 790 3/4, down 1, and September 795 1/4, unchanged. April live cattle $65.97, down 15. June lives $61, unchanged. August $60.42, down a nickel. April feeder cattle $99.05, up 45. May $203.70, up 45. August $217.17, 37 higher. Meanwhile, in the lean hog trade, May, albeit in its thin trade, $93.20, up 15. June lean hogs $100.30, down 32. July lean hogs $102.65, down 32. Outside, the Dow 30 industrial average down 3, 33,426.
It's coming. More innovation, more flexibility,